Is the law contrary? No. The law was a tool. It wasn't the means for salvation. And he says it really clearly there. For if a law had been given that could give life, the righteousness would indeed be by the law. This was the building blocks that God was using to separate the Jews from the rest of the rabble around them. The law was building up a society. It was preparing their hearts. Look, I remember when Harper first began learning how to tie her shoes. Any parents in here remember those days whenever your kids, they were learning how to tie their shoes? Look, my little girl has a big personality. If you've met her, she'll run through, she's just moving all the time. Hi, how are you? What's your name? And she'll be all over the floor, hopping up, doing a backflip. She reminds me so much of her mom because she is headstrong in the fact that she wants to do things on her own. She wants to be challenged. On the list of strong women in my life, my mama, my wife, and my daughter are at the very top of the list. You know, she sat for dozens of minutes trying her best to do this her own way, trying to do it her own way. And I told her, I said, Harper, can Daddy help you? No, sir, I want to do this. Okay? As the minutes went by, though, I could see that she was getting more and more frustrated. She wound up tying a big old knot in one of the laces. And when that happened, that's when the waterworks hit. She broke down. And look, when my baby breaks down, she breaks down. She was just like... I walked over to her and I tried because she swallowed and just you know little kids whenever they get that percolating breath there. And I tried saying it to her as quietly as I could. I said, "Can I help you now?" And with big old tears in her eyes, and I mean, she was almost to the point where she was yelling, and she's like, "I can't do it! I can't do it!" I said, "Here, let me help you." And it took some time with me that day, and with whenever she goes to stay with my parents, my mom was sitting there with her, and she would make her tie her shoes 4 or 5 times a day. She would go up to Melanie, and we would, we'd do the bunny ears, and loop and scoop, and all those little things. And guess what? She can do it now. She still sometimes ties a big old knot in one of the laces, though. But we've talked about this in the past, that if I gave you an impossible task to perform, and I watched you fail over and over and over to complete it, you would be thankful whenever I would walk up and say, "Here, can I help you?" God did this with the Israelites. He was preparing their hearts for the day when Jesus would come before them after years of exile, years of rebellion, and years of failing to follow God's law. Then Jesus shows up, and he speaks to his people, to the Jewish people, and he says, "Here, can I help now?" Look, maybe you're living a life where you feel like you're trying to complete something impossible. Lord, I know there are some days that I feel like it's impossible. Maybe you've always made things about you, about how good you are, about what you can do for the world. I can do this, I can do that. Maybe you failed. I don't know about you, but my flesh, again, it fails daily. I don't always say the kindest words, react in the best ways, think the best thoughts. But Jesus is simply standing there saying, can I help now? Can I help you? And that's what Paul is really saying and has been saying in this. Jesus is here to help. His grace abounds and it's free. Come and take it. Go to him. Repent your sins to him. Follow him. He's there to help. Now stand there.